Hi, welcome to Nora's Crafty Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make cherry pie filling. So sit back, relax, and learn. The recipe I'm using for today's cherry pie filling includes 2 pounds of frozen cherries, 1 cup sugar, 1 teaspoon vanilla, half a teaspoon cinnamon, a pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons lemon juice, 6 tablespoons cornstarch, and 1/3 cup of the cherry juice. So we start off with our cherry pie. In making our cherry pie, we start off with our frozen cherries. So you can see I did thaw them out, and we are going to cook them over medium high. And I'm going to include 1 cup sugar. We're going to start stirring that in. We mix all of our ingredients. I have my 2 tablespoons lemon juice, my half a teaspoon cinnamon, my 1 teaspoon vanilla, just adding that for extra flavor, and we're going to add a pinch of salt. That's more than a pinch. So it does look like I am going to need, I did drain this, but it does look, since it was frozen, that I am going to need to probably put more cornstarch in this filling here. So I did reserve my 1/3 cup sugar, my 1/3 cup of the filling. I did reserve 1/3 cup of the liquid, but it's looking like I have a lot of liquid in here. So I'm going to go ahead and alter this. It does look like I have quite a bit. We're going to cook this for 5 to 8 minutes. When you work with cornstarch, you always want to mix it with cold liquid so it doesn't lump up. Okay, I'm going to use some of my, just a tad bit of the cherry filling and add my cornstarch and start working that in. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up, and I am going to be removing some of the liquid because I already have the 1/3 reserved. So I will be, once this cooks on like high heat, I am going to be taking out the juice. You can start smelling all of the aroma of the cinnamon, the vanilla. Just smells so delicious. Starting to get thick. I am going to be taking out some of this reserve juice, straining it in a colander. We'll leave that juice reserved there in case we need a little more. So it's been about 5 minutes and we're going to be adding our reserve cherry juice that already has about five tablespoons of cornstarch with the reserved cherry juice, and you can see that it's starting to thicken right away. That's why we need any of the extra reserved juice. We can go ahead. We may need to add a little bit of the extra juice here. Put some back. And so now it's starting to thicken. Sometimes you never know what surprises when you're baking, so I put about half a cup more of that reserve juice, and I may need to add a little bit more. That's why I have it to the side, and you know that that is already sweetened and has all of the ingredients. So it is really, really thick right now, which is probably what we need. And I'm just going to put a tad bit more of the reserved cherry juice. That was the extra. You can see that our cornstarch, I used about 5 tablespoons of cornstarch to the 1/3 cup reserved cherry juice. You can see that it's starting to get thick, which is what we want for the pie. So at this point, we are ready with our filling. It's really thick. You can see that it's really, really thick. You don't want a liquidy filling for your pie. I'm going to take it off the burner. So I did let this cool down in making the cherry pie filling, and I had made this pie crust earlier. So now we're just going to put our pie filling in the pie crust. This was the recipe for the double crust pie crust. You see that it's pretty thick. That cornstarch. You can use our spatula, take everything out, and then just start spreading it. The rich aroma of the cinnamon, the vanilla, cherries, it's just delightful. Scrape off all the extra. And then for this cherry pie crust, I had made the double pie crust, and it will not be a lattice. It's going to be just a single pie crust, and then I'm just going to start gathering the pie crust together. And with our fingers, put it together here. Today's a great day for cherry pie. It's really cold outside, but it's just perfect for some hot cherry pie. And so because it isn't a lattice pie, this pie crust will need to have slits for it to cook. So I'm using the blade that I use for my sourdough, and I'm putting slits. The cherry will ooze out of there. So I am baking it in a convection oven at 400 for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to reduce it to 350, and at that point we'll probably be ready to put our foil on it so it doesn't over bake. And so now I am going to place it in the oven, 400. It is a convection oven, for 20 minutes, uncovered. So I took my pie out, and you can put egg wash, but I prefer sugar. I do have a granddaughter that's allergic to eggs, so I do prefer the sugar over the egg wash. But the egg wash makes it really, really pretty. So I'm just sprinkling sugar on there. I probably caked it a little bit too much, but it's going to be delicious. And so I'm going to leave it in the oven for about another 2 to 3 minutes, and then it'll be ready. So here we have the cherry pie that's going to be cooling off right now, and then we'll have some cherry pie. So I've cut a piece of the cherry pie, and now it's time to test it. So delicious. Try one and see how you like it. Have a great day.